Hello and welcome to Edison TV. I'm Dan Ridsdale, and today I'm joined by J Schwan, CEO, and Chris Kutsor, CFO for Kin Carta. Kin Carta are a global digital transformation consultancy listed in the London Stock Exchange and capitalized at around £500 million. The business recently became the first UK listed company to become a certified B Corporation, joining a global group of companies using the business as a force for good. Jay, perhaps I could start with you. Looking at digital transformation, these services are offered by many companies and can cover a lot of ground. Can you discuss specifically the key areas and focus of strength for Kin Carta?
Sure, Dan. Yeah, thanks for having us. So we're a digitally native consulting firm. Our purpose is to build a world that works better for everyone. And if I break that down a little bit, the first part of that is, first and foremost, we're builders at Kin Carta. We have some of the best builders in the world: software engineers, data scientists, designers, all working together to build digital solutions that make the world work better. And when we talk about working better, we operate at the intersection of technology, data, and experience to drive what we call connected outcomes for our clients. So clients come to us looking for expertise in digital strategy and innovation, digital product development, data and AI, and cloud migrations. And the last piece of that purpose, the for everyone, is the most important part in our opinion, and the hardest part to get right. For everyone means we're building diverse teams, we're designing products with accessibility baked into the center of them. We're ruthlessly removing historical bias from our algorithms. We're building software sustainably. So we truly look to build these kind of next generation platforms for everyone.
So looking at the competitive environment, who do you compete against most often, and why do you win against those players?
Yeah, I mean, there's essentially three categories of organizations in our sector. So the first are the global systems integrators. These are kind of the legacy incumbents, the Accentures, the Deloittes of the world. Against the big SIs, we compete with our agility. As compared to these incumbents, Kin Carta is easier to navigate, easier to connect with, not restricted by internal silos. So a lot of our clients refer to us as a smaller and more nimble Accenture or Deloitte. The second is boutique specialists, which will often, focus on maybe one key technology or one area of the digital spectrum. And with our global workforce of nearly 2,000 consultants across 3 continents, we can make sustained kind of large scale change rather than the isolated impacts that the boutiques bring. And the third, like our true peer group, are the other digital native consultancies like Globant or EPAM or Endava of the world. With these folks, we really compete on purpose and proximity. With our global workforce, it puts our kind of purpose-led specialists closer to our clients, because these days, speed is really what's most paramount for our clients. And so that's how we'll compete against the other digital natives.
That's very helpful, thank you. And you've recently become the first UK listed company to earn B Corporation certification. So congratulations on that. You also describe the purpose of Kin Carta as building a world that works better for everyone. Can you discuss how this purpose manifests itself throughout the business, and also give some examples of the benefits that it brings to your business, and perhaps some of the restrictions that you have to work through?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to think about that is, one, how we operate inside of our organization, then 2, how we deliver for our clients. So when we talk about internally how we operate, we have a big focus on building a diverse workforce. So we feel that's really important in order to truly ensure that the products that we're building reflect people from different backgrounds. So in June of 2020, for example, we launched our IDEA strategy, which was our Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Awareness program. And as that bedded in, just to give you some stats, over the last 6 months, we've hired over 500 digital specialists. In the last year, we've increased our gender diversity by over 23%, increased our ethnic minority representation by 27%, increased LGBTQ plus representation by 10%. And a lot of that just came into, putting our entire workforce through unconscious bias training to make them better interviewers. encouraging folks to lean and join affinity groups, participating in our annual Pay It Forward event, which is where we divide and conquer from a volunteering perspective, and organizations across our communities, and a lot of other ways just where we kind of bake in inclusivity and philanthropy and sustainability into our culture. And the second half of that is really how we deliver. And the first piece is ensuring that the work that we're doing, so the work that we take on from our clients, we need to be convinced that it's not going to cause any undue harm to society. And so we have panels in place in our 2 different regions to ensure that that's the case. The second is how we actually build things. So we're looking to bake accessibility, inclusivity, and sustainability into all of our service offerings, all of our practices. So, over a third of the global population has some sort of disability, either physical or mental. So ensuring that we're accounting for that in how we design these digital solutions is very important. Inclusivity most often comes into just ensuring there's not inherent bias in the algorithms we create, because algorithms are often created from historical data. And if that historical data has unintentional bias in it, and we automate that could actually make the problem even worse. So that's a big part of how we think about developing, our data scientists think about developing those algorithms. And then the third is around sustainable computing. So ensuring that we're writing clean, efficient code, running in clean, efficient data centers. So we're not, because the tech industry is on track to surpass the aviation industry in net carbon emissions. So we want to make sure that every time you tap on that phone, we're only using the minimal amount of energy required to do the task at hand. So all of that kind of comes together in how we deliver.
Fascinating. And a business such as yourselves obviously needs to be very tuned into future business and technology trends. Can you discuss what you are seeing on that front?
Yeah, I think there's 2 sets of headlines that seem to be dominating the business landscape. One is around digital and digital transformation, putting more power in the hands of the consumer to be able to to buy, to be served, and to experience a brand virtually. And the pandemic has been a huge accelerator of that. And so we've seen the demand for our services in the sector in general just increase dramatically, even over the last 24 months. But the second is, we're hearing a lot about, particularly with just coming off the heels of COP, how important the sustainability agenda is in the many organizations. And we really feel that these 2 things are not mutually exclusive. Digital can absolutely help with a lot of the sustainability needs that organizations are looking to enact. If we ensure that the way that we're building these digital solutions don't cause problems in and of themselves, that you just talked about. So, we're big believers in bringing the digital and sustainable agendas together and looking at them kind of as one. And that we think is a big trend that's going to drive a lot of investment over the course of the next 3 to 5 years.
Thank you, Jay. And now turning to you, Chris. You have made some strategic acquisitions over the last year or so, but you've also disposed of some non-core businesses, and they have strengthened the balance sheet quite substantially. You're now looking for acquisitions again. Can you discuss the qualities that you're looking for within your acquisition strategy?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Dan. It is worth noting we've completed one impactful acquisition in each of the past 2 years as well. And this was while, as you noted, the same time we were restructuring the business and divesting 5 non-core businesses that were sold over the past 18 months. So we expect to be even more acquisitive going forward, given we have the added capacity of no longer focusing on divesting non-digital transformation businesses. So with that added focus on acquisition, we're going to be focusing on the following areas: market expansion, talent, and capability enhancement. So market expansion is what it sounds like. It's acquisitions that open up a new market or geography for us to compete in. Talent acquisitions are nearshore locations for our UK and US centered business, and that provides us new talent pools and diversifies our cost base in serving each of those client footholds. That's likely to be Latin America for the US and Southern or Eastern Europe for our UK clients. And capability enhancement, those are acquisitions that enhance a capability we have or provide us a new service offering. That's a build versus buy decision, if you want to think of it that way. Now, when we do evaluate an acquisition, we do think of them in terms of a framework where we want businesses with a high growth potential, of course. We're looking for leadership teams that are aligned with our purpose and our culture, and certainly those businesses that can plug into our platform approach. We have platforms for our sales and marketing. We have platforms for our operations, and certainly a responsibility or B Corp platform as well, that we would look for those acquisitions to plug into as we move ahead with them.
That's very helpful, thanks. And now looking at your growth ambitions for the short and medium term, can you discuss what sort of growth you are targeting organically, and also the degree of investment that's likely to be required to achieve that sort of growth?
Yeah, absolutely. If we take a step back and think about where we've been and where we're going, I think it's a pretty exciting picture for the company and any investor that might be looking for growth as well. If we look at our financial year 21, and our financial year runs from August the 1st through July 31st, so we have a little bit of an odd financial year. But for the year that we just completed, financial year 21, we posted 12.5% growth as we came out of the pandemic a year ago, probably is one of those COVID winners that people talk about because of our focus on digital. And then this summer, as we headed into our financial 22 year that started on the 1st of August, we had provided growth guidance to the market that we'd be expected to grow 20% for the year. We then updated that guidance in October to expectations of 30% growth, and that's organic growth for the year. So this business is certainly showing momentum as we continue on into this year. We do expect, if you think about all that, where that's leading us, we've also said we expect to organically grow this business and double the size of the business in the next 4 years. Now, to your point, that does require investment. And we need to continue to invest in our people because we're a people business, and that will continue. We also need to digitize our own operations as we continue to add acquisitions that we talked about a moment ago. As we continue to evolve the way we operate, we have to continue to invest in our business itself. But those are thoughtful, careful investments that we make because if you look at our operating margins right now, they're just in the 10% range for this year, partially because of the divestments that we made that took away a substantial amount of our operating profit and underlying EBITDA. But we are at a point now where we're just beginning to scale. And with each year of growth from here, we've said before, and we'll say it again, we expect our operating margins to improve each year with growth. So we will be growing. We're going to be growing organically. And we're going to be growing organically at 15% or more organically over the medium term, next 3 to 5 years. And we've said that we expect our operating margins to improve in each of those years as well. So our growth is going to fuel operating margin expansion, and it's an exciting time to think about the growth this business has in front of it.
Thank you very much. So robust organic growth, margin expansion, and acquisitions on top. Jay, Chris, many thanks for your time, and I look forward to following your progress. It looks like there's some exciting times ahead.